Welcome to the Gym Success Podcast. To all of our amazing listeners out there, gym owners, gym operators, managers, salespeople, gym entrepreneurs, and personal trainers, we are so glad you're here. I'm Bonnie.
And I'm George. Our goal today is, well, to give you a serious shortcut to actionable insights. We're taking a deep look into an absolutely essential white paper by jthomas. He's a renowned gym business expert.
Yeah, and this isn't just theory, right? It's really about revolutionizing your revenue.
Exactly.
Jim frames sales as the oxygen that keeps any fitness business alive. And honestly, that analogy really hits home. You can have the best branding, the shiniest equipment, the most passionate trainers, but, well, without that steady flow of new paying members, it doesn't mean much, does it?
It really doesn't. It's the lifeblood.
And at the heart of his white paper is this one core, really powerful question. He argues you should be asking yourself and, your entire team every single day. And that question is what I'm doing right now going to result in a sale?
And what's truly compelling about this, and what jthomas really hammers home, is the critical mindset shift it demands.
Right.
Moving from just being busy to being genuinely productive.
Right.
Because let's be honest, many people in the fitness industry, and frankly, lots of industries, confuse activity with productivity.
Oh, absolutely. We've all done it.
Yeah. Think about it for a second. How much time do you, or maybe your team, spend adjusting playlists, meticulously organizing a closet that probably doesn't need it right then?
Or just chatting, right? Chatting with members you already have.
Exactly. Chatting with existing members. Now, these are activities, but without a direct line to making a sales call or closing a new membership, well, they aren't productive in the way that actually drives revenue.
I think we've all been there, mistaking that motion for progress. It's easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that single shift, just evaluating every action, every hour, every conversation through that specific lens, will this lead to someone joining our gym or buying a service that can elevate your performance from, reactive to proactive?
Yeah, it transforms random tasks into truly revenue-focused actions. It's the difference between just feeling busy and actually being effective.
So connecting this to the bigger picture, it means every minute you're on the clock, every single interaction, every decision you make really needs to be filtered through that sales question.
It really does. It encourages critical thinking about where your time and your energy are actually going. It's a powerful filter, a very necessary one.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit more. If we want to be productive, not just busy, what actually produces sales, according to jthomas? He meticulously breaks this down.
He does. He outlines 5 core revenue-generating activities, things that he argues everyone in your fitness business should really be focusing on.
And as we go through these, I really want you, our listener, to think about your own daily tasks. How many of these are you or maybe your team consistently hitting day in, day out?
That's a great way to think about it. Okay, so the first activity is outbound lead follow-up. This is all about being incredibly responsive and persistent. For instance, calling back every new lead within 5 minutes.
5 minutes, wow.
Yeah, not 5 hours, 5 minutes. It also means things like texting missed tour appointments immediately to reschedule and actively trying to reignite those cold leads or, expired members.
People who already showed interest at some point.
Exactly. The goal is just to re-engage them. Don't let them slip away.
Okay, makes sense. What's next?
Then there's inbound conversion. So this covers anyone who walks into your gym or reaches out to you online or by phone.
The ones coming to you.
Right. And jthomas really stresses the importance of immediately greeting and, crucially, touring walk-ins. Don't make them wait. And responding to emails or social media inquiries in under 10 minutes. Speed is key.
10 minutes. Okay.
And critically, using urgency and scarcity in your follow-up. He suggests language like, hey, just want to let you know we've only got 2 promo spots left.
Creating that little bit of FOMO, fear of missing out.
Precisely. It creates that vital sense of act now or you'll miss out.
Got it. So that's inbound. What's number 3?
Number 3, we get to face-to-face closing conversations. This is really where the rubber meets the road,
The actual ask.
The actual ask. It means clearly asking for the sale. No hesitation, no ambiguity, just ask. jthomas also suggests using trial memberships as effective stepping stones.
Right. Get them in the door, let them experience it.
Exactly. Let them experience the gym before they make that full commitment. And this point, he says, is non-negotiable. You have to regularly practice and role play overcoming objections.
Practice is key.
Sales is a skill. And like any skill, it needs constant refinement, constant practice to really master it. You don't just wing it.
Okay, 3 down. What's number 4?
4th category on his list is referral generation. This is huge. Your existing members, they are truly your best advocates. They're a potential gold mine for new business.
Using your happy customers.
Absolutely. So practical steps here include things like asking for member referrals every week. Just make it part of the routine. Handing out guest passes generously. Running Bring a Friend challenges or events.
Leveraging that trust.
It's all about leveraging the trust and, the positive experiences of your current clients to organically expand your reach. It's often the warmest lead you can get.
Makes total sense. And the fifth one?
Finally, number 5 is appointment setting. This is all about securing that next vital step in the sales process. Locking in follow-ups with warm leads is absolutely crucial.
Don't let them go cold again.
Exactly. And personalize your messages. Jim Thomas even points out that video texts work great for this. Adds a human touch.
Oh, interesting. Video texts.
Yeah. And always deliver value. Offer something concrete, like maybe sample meal plans or some motivational content. Keep them engaged and show them what you can provide.
So value beyond just the membership itself.
Right. The underlying principle here, connecting all 5, is that if your current task doesn't fit into one of these revenue-generating categories, Jim Thomas challenges you, stop and ask yourself, okay, what can I do right now that will lead to a sale?
That really forces you to refocus, doesn't it? Which brings us to a really crucial point he makes. A sales-first culture starts with leadership.
Yes, this is fundamental.
You just can't expect your team to be laser-focused on sales if you, as the owner or the general manager, aren't actively leading that charge. It really does set the tone for everything.
It absolutely does. And what's insightful here is how directly Jim Thomas connects leadership behavior to sales outcomes. He states it unequivocally.
Yeah.
The culture of a gym flows from the top down, period.
So if the leaders aren't doing it...
If leaders aren't visibly, actively focused on sales, the team just won't be either. It's that simple. Leaders need to cultivate that sense of urgency and expectation. How? By getting on the sales floor themselves. Make some sales calls. Be involved.
Walk the walk.
Exactly. This includes tracking key performance indicators, your KPIs, daily. Things like tours conducted, sales closed, new leads generated, calls made, run morning sales huddles. Publicly recognize and reward high performance.
Make it visible.
Make it visible. Make it important. And Jim Thomas is very clear on this. Look, great customer service is absolutely essential for retention. We all know that. But it won't grow your business on its own.
Right. You need new people coming in.
You simply can't retain clients you don't acquire in the first place.
Yeah.
Acquisition has to be a priority.
Okay, so once that leadership buy-in is there and they're setting the example, the real challenge becomes translating that into the daily actions of every single team member on the floor. How does Jim Thomas suggest we actually embed this sales-first mentality so it becomes like second nature?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's about making it a habit, a reflex. It's about integrating that core quotient. Is what I'm doing right now going to result in a sale into every single part of the workday? So, for example, at the start of the shift, a manager should be asking their team, okay, what sales-generating action will you take today? Make it specific.
Setting the intention for the day.
Exactly. Then, during the day, it's about checking in. Hey, are we engaged in sales conversations right now, or are we kind of allowing distractions to take over? Be honest about it.
Keeping people on track.
Right. And then at the end of the day, review the scoreboard, whatever that looks like for you. How many meaningful sales touch points did we actually have today? Not just how busy were we, but how many sales touch points?
That really focuses on the outcome.
Yeah. This kind of consistent questioning helps staff learn to differentiate between just, busy work and those actions that genuinely move the needle towards making a sale. It's about cultivating that awareness constantly.
That's powerful. It really helps shift the perspective from just being active to being, purposeful. But let's be real. We all have those common time wasters that just creep into our day, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. They're everywhere.
And Jim Thomas specifically calls out some common time wasters that destroy sales and helpfully provides productive alternatives, which I found incredibly practical.
Yes, this is where the practical application really, really shines. He gives very concrete examples. For instance, instead of reorganizing the front desk, a classic time waster, right? And frankly, I remember early in my own career being guilty of tidying instead of calling.
We've all been there. Looks productive, feels productive.
Exactly. But the productive alternative, he suggests, is call the last 5 no-shows. Immediately actionable, directly related to sales.
Okay, that's a clear switch.
Another common trap he identifies, posting on social media without a clear call to action, CTA, just posting fluff. That's often wasted effort from a sales perspective.
Right, just posting to post.
Yeah. The productive alternative. Post something specific like DS for a free week offer. Make it direct. Give people something to do.
That instantly turns a passive activity into a potential lead generator. It's such a simple but profound shift.
It really is. Or consider hanging around the break room. We all need breaks. But is it extending too long when you could be asking a member for a referral?
Good point. Using that floor time effectively.
Right. Or planning events, which can be great, but with no follow-up plan. That's a huge missed opportunity. Instead, you should be texting past event attendees to re-engage them, offer them something new.
Keep that connection going.
Keep it going. And here's a big one that can be tough, especially in gyms. Cleaning when foot traffic is high. Cleanliness is vital, we know that. But if potential new members are walking in the door,
then it's prime time.
That's prime time. Your absolute priority, Jim argues, should be to be ready to greet and tour them immediately. The cleaning can wait for a slower period. These direct shifts redirect energy from, let's face it, often unproductive tasks to focused sales efforts.
This all sounds incredibly strategic, almost like planning a battle campaign for sales each day. But how do you actually make sure these vital sales activities happen consistently? In the chaos of a busy gym environment, Jim Thomas introduces something called the power of sales power hours.
Yes, this concept is incredibly effective for creating that consistent sales flow. It's basically about dedicating focused, protected blocks of time each day only to selling activities.
Protected time. I like that.
Yeah, protected is the key word. This means during these sales power hours, there's absolutely no sorting through your email inbox, no tackling maintenance tasks, no casual scrolling through social media feeds, none of that.
So laser focus.
Complete laser focus. These hours are strictly for things like follow-ups, making phone calls, messaging leads, maybe conducting presentations or virtual tours, and booking those crucial appointments.
The core sales activities we talked about earlier.
Exactly. And what's truly impactful here is the potential return on that focused time. Jim Thomas states that even just 1 to 2 hours per day of this protected, focused sales time, well, it can actually double or even triple your conversions.
Double or triple. Wow.
Yeah, it's about that concentrated effort delivering maximum impact, quality over just quantity of hours worked.
So after this deep dive into Jim Thomas's insights, what does this all boil down to for you, the listener? Let's get to the bottom line. If your gym is struggling, or maybe it's just plateauing, or simply not growing as fast as you want it to.
Which describes a lot of gyms at some point, right?
Absolutely. Jim Thomas says this question is your daily checkpoint. It's your non-negotiable mission. Is what I'm doing right now going to result in a sale?
This really is the cornerstone.
Yeah.
You need to, say it out loud, write it on your whiteboard, embed it in every team meeting. Let it drive every single action you take.
Make it unavoidable.
Make it unavoidable. Because the outcomes, he argues, are incredibly clear. When the answer to that question is consistently yes, well, your revenue increases, your team's confidence builds, your gym's growth accelerates, it feeds itself.
Positive momentum.
Exactly. But when the answer is consistently no, you're essentially just spinning your wheels. You're keeping busy, maybe you feel productive, but your competition is effectively gaining ground, eating your lunch.
Ouch. But true.
Jim Thomas puts it very powerfully. If you're not selling, you're stalling. It's that blunt. Every single hour, every decision you make, you are either moving toward a sale or you are moving away from one. There's rarely neutral ground.
That's a stark way to put it.
It is. And it must become your mission and your entire team's mission to constantly ask, is this activity right now going to result in a sale? And if it isn't, it's time to change direction immediately.
What a transformative idea. Honestly, just consistently asking that one single question seems like it could completely shift your focus and ultimately your gym's performance. This discussion today was really designed to give you immediate, actionable steps, all derived directly from Jim Thomas's expertise, helping you turn that busyness into real, tangible results.
And maybe here's a final thought for you to mull over after listening today. Take a moment, maybe later today or tomorrow, and reflect honestly on what seemingly productive tasks you might be doing right now that are actually keeping you from real growth. What's one immediate, maybe even small, shift you can make in your daily routine to redirect just a little more energy towards activities that result in a sale?
That's a great challenge. Even a tiny adjustment could make a difference.
Absolutely. Even a tiny adjustment can start to compound and lead to significant change over time.
So if you're listening and thinking, okay, I get it, but I need some help actually implementing these strategies, well, Jim Thomas and his company, Fitness Management and Consulting, can definitely help.
Yeah, they specialize in exactly this kind of thing. Building that sales-first culture, installing better, more efficient sales systems, training your staff to become, as he puts it, true conversion machines.
Conversion machines, I like that.
Yeah, and even helping turn around a gym that might be struggling, before it's too late.
That's invaluable support. So how can people reach him?
You can reach Jim Thomas directly at his phone number, 214-629-7223.
Okay, that's 214-629-7223.
Right. Or you can reach him by email at jthomas@fmconsulting.net. That's jthomas@fmconsulting.net. And you can also check out his website, fmconsulting.net.
Perfect. We'll make sure those details are available. Thank you so much for joining us for this look into Jim Thomas's white paper. We really, really encourage you to apply these insights in your own gym. Start asking that question and watch what happens.
Yeah, put it into practice. Thanks for listening, everyone.